unfortunately, like I said before, this video is not gonna have much structure to it. I'm just sort of geeking out right now. I was like, Capcom, are you trying to make me hard?
Do you want me to be constantly hard? It's like, yeah, I'm soft. But if I was hard right now, you'd be concerned.
What am I talking about in particular? What is going on today? Let me give you a bit of an example, right? I was just asleep, I was chilling, I was tired, I was cool, and it was like in the fucking afternoon or whatever. I woke up at like 1 or something. I don't know what I did last night, but I know I was fucking high on medication, and I know I was fucking tired. I had tea in my body and noodles in my body, and everything was going crazy, so I had to sleep. I finally got that good night rest. I slept up. I'm like, hey, smoke up, Johnny. I woke up, and then I got on, I logged on Discord real quick to see what was going on, and then there was an ensuing Capcom discussion in my Discord, and I figured, you know, I might as well chime in. Capcom in the AAA space, they're not really putting out way too much in the AAA space for like big time graphics and all that. We don't know where the fuck Progmata is. I don't know if that's ever coming out. Hopefully it comes out next year, but I'm like, okay, so we got Monster Hunter Wilds coming out. I chimed in on the conversation and I said, maybe 2025 is gonna be their best year in those regards. Resident Evil 9 got officially announced. We still don't know when that's coming out. Capcom has been on a steamroll lately, and I for one definitely bought Dead Rising. I'm gonna play that, talk about that, go crazy with that. But wait, there's more. All right, after they talked about stuff in the past, like, you know, bringing back Marvel versus Capcom to the masses, and I made a video on this, and I'm like, okay, now is the perfect time to be a classic fighting game enthusiast, a classic fighting game aficionado, and they're not done. Oh fucking no. They announced the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 for the PS4, the Switch, and PC, Steam, and it's launching in 2025 next year. The games they have announced is Capcom vs. SNK 1, Capcom vs. SNK 2, Capcom Fighting Evolution, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper, Project Justice, Power Stone 1, 2, and Plasma Sword Nightmare of Bilstein. And I'm just going fucking crazy, alright? I'm like, wait, what happened? What? We have Power Stone 1 and 2 officially able to be played online on consoles for like the longest time ever. Dude, I am so pumped and ecstatic right now. Like, literally speaking, let's go by with the collection. Like, Power Stone is one of my favorite 3D Dreamcast fighters ever. It's a nice little party game. I like the first one a lot more, even though the second one, you know, I have fond memories of that, but I feel like the first one being that sort of 1v1 and you pick up pipes and bombs and hit people with them, and there's like fucking treasure chests, and the main thing is there's a goddamn fucking chaos emerald power up where you can turn into a super god and literally fuck shit up. Like, there is a guy, I think it's Wang Tang, he turns into a Super Saiyan. He's like Goku. It's like fucking crazy. It's like so hype, man. You can do these super wild finishers. There's a guy that turns into a robot and shoots like 10,000 missiles all over the place. It's not exaggerating. It's really that hype. It's that much of a spectacle to see. And I'm so glad that one returned. I'm a huge fan of that. Power Stone is so obscure, and I'm glad they're bringing both of these games back to the market with online play. And another one is Project Justice. Now, it got its humble beginnings to me as Rival Schools. Rival Schools was done by Hideaki Insuno, who is quite honestly known for Devil May Cry fame, trying to take the previous torch from Hideki Kamiya and running with it, running like a baller. It reminds me of like what happened when David Jaffe got taken off the reins from God of War 1, and then all of a sudden Cory Barlog came in. He made God of War 2 pop. He made fucking God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, you know, pop or whatever. I know Ragnarok was like Eric Williams, but still, he was the brainchild that took the ball and went running with it, and that's sort of what Isuno is to Devil May Cry. And this is like, Rival Schools was like Isuno's first attempt into making like a fighting game that was really cool, based around like high school kids going around beating the crap out of each other, having like these cool outfits and costumes. Like Batsu looks like a fucking Chad, and it's just so cool. You can do these unique power-ups, these team-up attacks, or you can get like fucking 3 guys to beat the shit out of 1 person. I'm telling you, Rival Schools, if you never played it, Project Justice, if you never played it, it is insanity with the stuff you can do in that game. They literally have like these like over the top fucking school stereotypes, like the swimmer or the gymnast, and they all fight, and like a person that throws like volleyballs at people, the baseball guy. It's so fun, man. It's a fun ass 3D fighter, and I remember playing it so hard on the PS1 with my brother like all the time, and doing the same with Project Justice, and having those updated like characters and cooler scenarios and cooler backgrounds, better graphics. Essentially, you're getting Rival Schools 2 with this. This is what this is, and you're getting it online. I'm so excited. I can't contain my excitement because Capcom is making me so hard right now. The other games in the collections I have, like, I do have experience with Capcom vs SNK, but mostly Capcom vs SNK 2, Mark of the Millennium, where it is the crossover between Capcom characters and SNK. I remember playing that a lot on Parsec with the guys over at Infinite Ammo Syndicate, and it's a swell, decent game. One of the things I really also like is the music, the presentation, and how they presented things in that game. The announcer is always memorable. You know, you're in here to, you better not snooze, or you're just gonna lose, or some weird quotes like that will come up when selecting like grooves and everything like that. And I enjoyed that game as well. It's gonna be like some very interesting tournaments going on. I never played the first Capcom versus SNK. I am ready for the Millennium match of the century. I'm getting on that. I'm whooping some ass, and you know my name is going to be stomp people into the finest wine, because that's what's gonna happen when I get online with that. All right, I'm talking about shit. I'm talking about big shit. All right. Open challenges, I don't know, maybe but the obscure titles in here that I don't know of too well is Plasma Sword. Apparently one of the guys that I use, Hayato from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, is prominent in that game, so I'm gonna check it out myself, play it a little bit, and see how I feel about it. Street Fighter Alpha is a series I also have no familiarity with whatsoever. I seen a couple of matches here or there, I seen a couple of combos here or there, exhibitions, but really that's my first time getting into it. And they say that Capcom Fighting Evolution is not really a fantastic game in this collection. Most of the community seem to say, hey, this is a bad game, but I saw a tweet earlier that said sometimes even bad games should be preserved so folks could play them, acknowledge them, see how they were, see what made them bad. Maybe there could be some believers who play that game for the first time in history and they find out, you know, maybe it's not as bad as most people say, or maybe it is bad as most people say. But when they take stuff off the digital storefront, when they get rid of stuff and there's DRM and all this other stupid nonsense, then there's no other way to really deal with history being preserved properly. So I can see why people are like that, why they're saying that, why these games are so important to keep in the annals of history. There was a debate that happened earlier, not too much of a debate, actually. I would say a discussion, really, with Matt McMuscles and how he mentioned how other companies maybe should take notice of older games being preserved, like your Mortal Kombats. They should do a better job at that, or him saying that where's stuff like older Tekken or Soul Calibur that are not being put up on these newer digital storefronts so we could buy them and play them. And I agree to that extent. It's not like a lack for better words. They haven't tried to put some games on digital. There was the idea of MK Arcade Collection for the classic Mortal Kombats 1, 2, and 3. Now they're delisted, so you can't really get those unless you got lucky enough and bought them in the past. Then there's MK9, which obviously Freddy Krueger was in that game, fucking horror icon there, so it's tied to some licensing bulk. The same for Kratos in the PS3 version. Therefore, there's gonna get a little bit of a mix there, a little bit of a dicey connection with trying to get some of those rights and excluding some of those characters and taking some of that code out. I think it can be done, but then you have to really think about, are they going to adjust the online for a better experience? Rollback? No, probably not. This is NRS. I don't think they're gonna do anything of that nature. They're more of a forward moving company than a backwards moving company. That's kind of how it feels like to me. So I think that MK9 is gonna be like lost media to a lot of people who didn't buy the game unless they buy it physically or get keys. Then there's obviously Soul Calibur, and I'm just like, okay, so I never played Soul Calibur 3 in my life. I did emulate the game, but when it was out at the time, that's what I'm referring to, like past tense. I never played it after Soul Calibur 3, and I never had a copy since, and I never seen an updated copy since, so I had to run and go emulate it like for a little bit and see how the game was. And I played it for a little bit, and it was all right, it was okay, but it was no Soul Calibur 2. And then there's Soul Calibur 2 HD, which was online for the PS3, and I do have that version, but the online sucks ass. Nobody's playing. It's a waste of a port now, if I'm being honest. I do have some preservation there, but if I want to go back and play Soul Calibur 2 with people online, I will either have to play it probably, is it on Fightcade? I don't know if it's on Fightcade. But there is Parsec as well, and it's like, I want to officially play it. I want to officially own the game. If you put it out there, I will buy it, no problem. Same for the first one. First Soul Calibur was fucking amazing. You can put that out there, a Tekken bundle. Fuck Gon. Fuck Gon and everything he lives for. That stupid goddamn dinosaur that I want to kick into the stratosphere just because of licensing. Again, that's why Tekken 3 is probably not on a lot of storefronts, because Gon the Guest is an unlockable character, and I'm just like, this pisses me off to no end. I want to play Tekken 3 on a modern console. Is that too much to ask for? Well, I have to go back and emulate the goddamn fucking game. So I can see the annoyance there. Capcom is like the one that's filling that void for digital preservation for their goddamn fighting games, and I wish other studios would do it, because I'm kind of dying here. I would love to play stuff like, not even fighting games, just the IP itself. Like, you know, Shaolin Monks was a badass beat 'em up. Why aren't we having that with current online features and playing against people? Come on, man, we can make a party out of that. We can beat the shit out of people, do fatalities. That game was awesome. We need an update or a sequel. MK Fire and Ice, I'm giving you free real estate, free ideas, baby. Anyway, some of the key features, obviously, as they always say for the collection, for Capcom Fighting Collection 2, the game has online, well, no shit, online, rollback, stable experience. You can do training mode, expanded language support in 14 languages all across the world, like English, Latin, American, Spanish, Brazilian, Portuguese, Japanese, French, Italian, German, Castilian Spanish, Russian, Poland, Korean, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, and Arabic. You have arts, so you have the museum, you have the content, the concept art, the designs, what they did, the sketchbooks. You can check that out if you want to. You can customize your experience with filters, button layouts, music, all that really good jazz to fit your needs. They now have a mid-game save feature in case you need to take a snack break. Okay, so if I want to nom on my hamburger while I'm getting my ass kicked by God Rugal, then I can do that. And then you have additional updates to the balancing and quality of life improvements across all 8 games. I don't care what you say at this point. I know there was a ton of grifters out there trying to grift against Monster Hunter World, and that went like a fucking disaster. That was a fiasco for certain people. You got your ass kicked by the Monster Hunter community when you found out that people could customize their own hunters. You tried to call them ugly and then you got stomped on. Look, I don't care what you say at this point. You can grift all you want. Capcom is on fire right now. If you don't understand, they're on fire, all right? They're releasing stuff that people want, people ask for, and what people need. I think they're taking their surveys they took over the past couple of months seriously, and this leads to success and happiness across the board. That's why Capcom was trending once again when people saw all this news and information. They are on fire right now, and other companies may be coming behind them. Like I saw Konami was releasing another classic Castlevania collection, and then Silent Hill 2 Remake is getting like a lot of rave reviews and interesting attention so far as first impressions go. And it all took, guess what I'm gonna say, guess what it all took? A restructure and adhering to those previous IPs from yesteryear, and that's what we wanted the whole entire time. So yes, I think this is the key to success: acknowledging the past, acknowledging the present, acknowledging the future, and doing the best you can with it. I am so ecstatic right now with Capcom information. Konami might be number 2, they might be coming up. MGS is also looking pretty fire, fam. I don't know what to tell you, but I love it. I love seeing my goats come back and really kick ass, and it's just such a good time to be a fan of classic stuff. You have no idea. So until next time, this is Renegade Operative signing out. Let the hype train commence. Classic fighting games are back, and they are here to stay. Laters.